Hello there guys, and welcome to Consonant Gaming, and welcome back to Starbound. In today's tutorial I'm going to be teaching you guys all about the wiring station and the basics of what you can really do with it. So to start off with, let's enter my new secret lab I've built in this old prison complex. And so showing off like one of the functionalities already, to open my secret door I have to have both of these panels activated. As you can see there, the secret door now opens and I can drop in. You can see I've got pressure pads opening my doors, so it's nice and simple to walk in and out of rooms. And here's my wiring station. Now to make this, you need to find your robotic crafting table, and I believe it's after the third star map. So after the second boss, you can build this, and there it is. It's the wiring station. It costs you 20 steel bars and 20 titanium panels, so it's quite simple to make, and this is what you make. And so if you've seen my previous wiring tool tutorial, it all works the same, apart from the wiring tool is now in the wiring station rather than being in the robotic crafting table. So I will have an annotation and a link on that just to clear that mistake up. Well, it's not really a mistake, it's a patch update. But so as you can see here, you've got a nice load of selection of kind of electrical things you can make. So I'm going to start off with the basics. So you have the circuit board, which costs you 1 copper bar and 100 pixels, and the laser diode, which costs you 1 steel bar and 1 glass block. And what these two things basically are the materials that pretty much everything else costs. You can see, yeah, that costs 1 and 1, 1 and 1, 1 and 1. Only a few of the more advanced things, like maybe the defense turret, costs other stuff, but as you can see, it still just costs 1 circuit board and 1 laser diode. So you want to pretty much find yourself quite a bit of steel, quite a bit of glass, and quite a bit of copper, and then just buy a stack each of them. As you can see, I've got, you know, a few up here to play around with. And once you're there, you've got if you have seen my wiring tool tutorial, know my biggest complaint before was the fact that we couldn't actually make any sort of levers or anything like that which worked. It was like the main thing we could really do was have a door as a button, and the only thing we really had to link the door to was another door. So it was like making a door and just to open another door, which was pretty pointless. So as you can see here, they've given us 4 new and quite cool activation tools, I suppose you could call them. We've got a small wall button, a small floor button, a pressure plate, and if I scroll down a little bit, a large floor button. And I'll just show you them now. So as you can see here, these are my pressure plates in play at the moment. They turn on for a little bit, and see how they're out for about 3-4 seconds. They automatically turn off, and the door loses power and closes. It's really nice, and as you can see there, just putting them either side of the door is really nice. Is really good for making it automated. If I get my wiring tool out and show you how that works, same as before. If you've seen my previous wiring tool video, red circles represent activation. So in the pressure plates case, it's when stepped on, what's it going to do kind of thing. But that's the thing about the pressure plates as well. You can also press E on them to activate them, as you see, like that, which is quite cool. So they just work like normal buttons, and the purple rings on items represent the kind of like the action of the item, like what's going to happen after it's been used. So obviously in a door's case, it opens or closes. Because obviously it's kind of on a timer, like I said before, stepping on it means okay, open, and then 3-4 seconds later the button says okay, I'm going to lose power now, and that's why it then effectively activates again to stop its action. Because obviously normally with a door you'll activate it and it will just stay open, whereas because these buttons are like short bursts of power, it's really cool because the door then closes behind you, which is really nice. One thing to note though is obviously if you get stuck in the door like that and you can't move left or right, that is the nice thing about the pressure pads, which I said earlier, is you can just press E on them and that will get you unstuck. So I've got up here one of the other things you can build in the wiring station. It's a bit dumb. I'm just going to move this to the side a bit because we appear to have some guy stuck in poison down there, which is going to get a bit annoying. Let's put you up there. So if I now get... Oh, my buttons are up there. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put a wall button there, a large wall floor button there, and a small floor button there. And with my wiring tool, there we are, I'm just going to connect all of these up to the thing up there. You have to be quite close to the thing that you're activating. So if you do have something on the ceiling like that, you will have to jump. And just like with the floor button, these are all short-term activations. So if I just turn that on, you can see the alarm turns on for just a few seconds and then it turns off. So same with the floor button and that floor button. But unlike the pressure plate, these don't turn on. So if I was to now get my wiring tool, select, I had this problem before, there you go, and put it on there. So now it's now going to open the door and turn the wire and turn the thing on, which is quite cool. Obviously, to get rid of wires, you just want to right click, and so let's just pick these back up again. But just to show you like an example of a button that doesn't, in the prison, if you find one, you do get all of these panels here, which are just dotted around the place, and they're really good because they actually just stay fully on. Like when they're activated, they don't turn off. So if I just do that, you can see now the button is on because it's lit up, and the alarm just stays on. So obviously that's not maybe so good for an alarm. You want it to be kind of like a short burst, maybe like when someone walks through a door they're not meant to. But you know, in this case, it's just good for functionality. So like here, where I've got this secret entrance, while I'm in the lab, I obviously want it to be open. But you can see there, if I turn one off, it all turns off, or like vice versa. And that's really cool. So just to go back and show you the other things in the wiring station now. So these are things which I'm going to go over in more detail in separate videos because they are a bit more complicated, but I'll at least just read the description now. So we've got these things here which I just like to call the nodes. The drain thing at the moment doesn't do anything. The reason it's there though is because the mod which this has been taken from, basically all of this stuff here is a fan-made, player-made mod which the developers have really liked, and they've taken and put it into the game. However, the drain was in relation to something else. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, and that hasn't been implemented. So the drain at the moment doesn't do anything, but I'd like to think at some point it could be used for, say, like draining rivers or lakes. Like supposing you find like a poison pool underground and you just want to get rid of it, you could stick a drain thing underneath it and then just power it up, and then suddenly all that water would start draining away. I think that'd be a really cool use for it. But yeah, at the moment it's worthless. Don't bother building it until a future patch. So right, moving on to the start, then we have the XOR switch, and so I'm just going to read the descriptions here and then I'll go over in more detail in separate videos. But this one requires one input to be on and one to be off. So like with my hidden entrance, that requires both inputs to be on. This one requires one to be off and one to be off, and you can choose which one has to be on and which one to be off. So obviously mix and matching all of these, you could potentially make, you know, a really cool like keypad thing where you have to press things in the right order. You've just kind of got to work out the math in your head a little bit of how it's all going to go together. So you then have a timer node, which, as you can imagine, is just a normal button. I'm probably like the hand thing, that the hand scanner in the prison, but it's on a timer. So you know, you press it and then maybe like 5-10 seconds will pass and then the action will happen. So you know, that could be good for, say, like setting up a defense turret. You know, you want to turn it off, turn it on, and then run away quick before it starts shooting things. It's pretty cool. You have the OR switch, so it allows you to have multiple individual inputs. And so what that basically means is it doesn't matter which one is turned on, as long as one of them is on, like turn on kind of thing, which is really cool. You have the NOT switch, so inverts the input of the circuit. I'm not sure what this one does at the moment. There's something I'll have to research and then I'll know by the time I do my video on it. I'm guessing it means, I don't know. I don't actually. I'm not going to make guesses off the top of my head. You have the light sensor, which monitors the light level at the location. Left output will trigger a dim, and the right output will trigger for bright. I know what this is getting at, but I'm not sure how it works in theory, because I'm not sure if it's a light in itself or if it's meant to attach to other lights, because other lights don't actually have, if I activate my wiring tool, you can see lights don't actually have anything to be powered up with. So I'm guessing that is a light in itself maybe, but at the same time, I mean, it does say it's a light there, so it probably is, but we'll have to see how that one works. We have the latch. This is like the most complicated one there is, so I'll definitely explain that one in another video. It's all about saying having stuff mimic each other's behaviour and stuff like that, and so it definitely requires another video. The bulb is very, very simple actually, and it will be something that I'll more be showing off, not on its own because it's so simple, but just with other things. And all it basically does is it turns on if there's power currently going to that point. So if I was to step on that pressure point for the period of time where the door is open, if I also had that going to one of these bulb things, in fact I can just show that now, to be honest. I'll just build that. Where is it? Okay, I've already had one anyway. There we go. If I connect you to you, right, so you can see what for that brief moment that it's powered on, it's obvious that it is because the door's opening. But supposing you've got a long circuit going on where it's literally just circuit to circuit, node to node to node going off, you know, this will show you when power's hitting certain nodes, which is really cool. So I now come back here. Go on. Oh, it's because I've got the wiring tool open. Never mind. And last but not least, we have the one that we've seen already, because I've used it on my main entrance, and it requires all inputs to be on before it then powers the thing that's linked to it. So just to kind of give you a little overview, in case you guys want to work this out for yourself, on their individual uses, I mean. So as you can see here, this here is my AND node, and you can see here I've got my first hand scanner here going to the purple node there, and this second hand scanner here going to this purple one here, and I've done the same on that side. And then the output here is simply going to the action of this, well, it's both of them, because I've got this here is actually two glitch hidden doors. So from the action output point, it's going to the input point of both of these trapdoors here, and that's how that's all working. So yeah, this has been like the basics of the wiring station. I'll be running over the individual nodes in more detail in later videos. But for now, if you found this helpful, please remember to like and subscribe, and let me know what you think, or better yet, what you've created with the wiring station so far in the comments below. So I'll see you later, guys. Goodbye.